Welcome to Plano, Texas, home of Toyota North America. I'm Rutledge Wood, and beside me is the 2025 Toyota Crown and the first ever stunning Crown Signia. Now, a lot of you may have never heard of this nameplate before, but it's actually incredibly significant to the Toyota brand, especially here in America. So I'm going to walk you through some of the history and explain why the Crown is such a big deal. This is a 1958 Toyopet Crown. Now, this probably leads you with more questions like, what the heck is a Toyopet? Why does this car matter? Did I leave the hose running? I don't think I did. And what time is dinner? I'm starving. Let me take you back to 1947 and the introduction of Toyota's first small passenger car, the Model SA. To celebrate that, they had a public naming contest for the new brand. And that's how Toyopet came to be. Now, why is this Crown important? For starters, it was the first passenger car developed and built entirely in Japan. At that time, Japanese automakers had only ever partnered with either Europeans or Americans, but Kiichiro Toyota realized that if he was relying on others, he'd always be a step behind the competition. And a lot of people thought he was crazy, but the man had a vision. And this model represents that vision coming to life. In 1958, the Toyopet Crown became the very first car to ever be imported from Japan to America. That's pretty cool. Toyota's market research revealed that Americans were starting families in the suburbs in record numbers, and the need for a small second car was increasing. In fact, compact car sales were doubling year over year. And most of these cars were from Europe, like the VW Beetle, which showed that Americans were open to buying foreign products. So in came the Toyopet Crown. Unfortunately, it wasn't very well received. Its 1.5-liter inline-4 with 60 horsepower was underpowered, making it like a fish out of water on the V8-dominated American highways, and only 287 units were sold that year. The Crown was eventually reintroduced with a second-generation model that was more suitable to keep up with American highway speeds. But it again had lackluster sales, and by 1973, Toyota decided to stop sales of the model in the US. But all the while, they were learning what American drivers wanted, and for that market, they specifically developed this. This is a 1965 Toyota Corolla. It was first introduced as the Tiara, which, as you know, is another type of crown, but it was quickly changed to the Corona, which is actually Latin for crown. It was a small car, but with a roomy interior and plenty of glass. And with its boxy but elegant shape and 90 horsepower engine, it helped Toyota hit over 20,000 in total US annual sales for the very first time. And by 1975, it was a major player in Toyota becoming the best-selling import brand in America. But it certainly wasn't the only vehicle to bring Toyota to new heights. There was plenty to get them to this point, including the Carina, the Celica, plus the iconic Land Cruiser and the 2000 GT. But none were as important as this next one. This is the famous Toyota Corolla. What's a Corolla? You guessed it, it means crown, or more specifically, small crown in Latin. Now, this is not the original Corolla. Unfortunately, we don't have one here to show you. But the first one was built in 1966, and it was an incredible success. And not just here in America, but globally. By 1974, it was the best-selling car in the world. And today, it's the best-selling car of all time, topping well over 52 million units globally. Now, before we get to the current Crown model, there's one more car that continued with the Crown name. This is a 1983 Camry, and that name actually comes from the Japanese word, and I'm sorry if I messed this up, kanmuri, which again, you guessed it, also means small crown. By the time the Camry was introduced in 1982, Toyota was well on its way to becoming a global automotive superpower. But it was yet again another vehicle that brought them to new heights. And as of today, it's sold over 21 million units worldwide. The Crown has always been an innovation platform, and it's what led to the ability to transform it into a crossover for today's market. So, without further ado, let's get to what you all came here to see. We've come full circle here in this beautiful 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. And I gotta tell you, this thing is incredible. Now you get a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid with 3 electric motors, making a combined 243 horsepower, while still maintaining fantastic fuel economy at 36 miles per gallon. It's got standard all-wheel drive and can tow up to 2,700 pounds. And the inside is beautiful. I mean, look at this brown leather. Starts on the door panels, goes up to the dash, and really cascades down here on the center console. Now there's this huge 12.3-inch multimedia display with a panoramic view monitor for those tight parking spots. You've also got an 11-speaker premium JBL sound system, a full digital dash, and it's got USB ports throughout. But it's not just the elevated comfort, sophisticated technology, and elegant design that makes this car special. No, it's the amount of history that's gone into making this thing, and you feel it the moment you sit behind the wheel. Sure, it's a great family vehicle, but it also represents decades and decades of refinement and evolution. Toyota had to learn a lot of hard lessons to crack the American market, but they never gave up. Think back to that 1958 Toyopet, the first Japanese vehicle to ever make it to US soil. And look at what I'm driving today. Look at how many Toyotas are on the road. This vehicle not only shows how far the brand has come, but it really reflects how the international auto industry has changed as a whole. And now that I'm here inside this historic car, I don't want to get out. So there you have it, the history of the Crown. It's what started Toyota in America, and it's what's going to help carry it into the future. And although the original Crown may not have been a hit in America, it never stopped being produced in Japan. It spawned everything from coupes to trucks. It was the first Toyota outfitted with an automatic transmission, the first Toyota ever fitted with a V8 engine, and the first turbo Toyota too. And because of that, it's the longest running passenger car nameplate in the company's history, and one that I think you should keep an eye on. Toyota is still the best-selling automaker in the world, and I think this new Crown is going to help usher them into the next generation of automotive excellence.